All right, so pretty tough day today. I'm down $386 on BCLI, HCTI, MULN, NAOV, PTIX, and VSTE. PTIX is the only one we're actually moving today, but it's a little tricky, and I'll show you all about that. So BCLI, and by the way, I'm going to make this short because the last time I tried to do a recap was about a half hour ago, and I actually took another trade. So I think I'm a little touchy right now, and I don't totally trust myself. So actually, I'm glad right now because the only stock that's tempting right now is actually halting down. So which can provide actually an opportunity when it resumes, maybe bounces off of this 100 moving average on the 1 minute chart. But I'm not interested. I'm not trading well. I'm super frustrated. I took 94 executions today, so my 386, had this been in a commission broker, would have actually been a negative 732, which it hurts a little bit. It kind of wipes out a full green day. So not a great start to the week, but I'm confident I can go ahead and still be green for the week. It'll just take me a couple of days to recoup and then to move past it and start ascending again. The first stock I traded was BCLI. Has FDA clearance, so it had a headline, but it popped up, it rejected. I came in here for the just above the whole dollar, which worked out. I got a couple of scalps on it, and I was up $300 or $400. But here's what I did: was I was looking for this flag to resolve to the upside, and it felt pretty strong at the time. What I did wrong in my sort of micro skills is I was looking at the chart. So instead of looking at the level 2 where I can get a more precise entry on BCLI, I was looking at the chart. So when I finally hit the button, it was just a little bit further along than I would have liked, and I wasn't able to sort of pinpoint the entry. And I mean, look at that. I took 2,000 shares right at the tip of this rejection and had to stop out down here. So I was up 300 or 400, and then I lost probably $800 on that flush there. 2,000 shares, I lost about 40 cents, so probably about $800. So I was up 300, and then I was down 500. That's how I started the morning. I did recoup some of it. I turned the negative 500 into negative 250, trading this chop for this 1 minute. Not a great 1 minute pattern, but a 1 minute pattern. First 1 minute candle to make a new high resulted in this little scalp right here, and I got out quick because I knew that there was going to be a lot of big sellers in this area, considering how much volume we had on that rejection. I got into a couple of penny stocks today, and so I traded HCTI as it was surging up over here. I was just in and out. I forgot to put the sell orders on here. Sorry about that. I didn't complete this, but I didn't complete my homework. But that's what it was. I was just taking 1 or 2 pennies at a time. I was making probably $80 per trade on that, taking big size on this 16-cent stock. I was taking, I think, 60,000 shares at the most on it. I traded NAOV. I'm actually green on. It's another penny stock, right? No, not penny stock, but low price stock. And I traded this. Oh, I think I got scalps in this area. That's generally what I would do. Is I would take entries off of the whole dollar and sell it back up into the push up. But you can see we're getting pops, but we're not getting anything that's holding and making a secondary move. It's those secondary moves that human traders like me can actually get in and feel like you have some security, some kind of clear place you can stop out. It doesn't feel extended. So unfortunately, it had a good move to start, but it gave the whole thing back, and it never made a secondary push. It never broke that high again, even just for a little bit. What you want to see is for it to break the high, hold, and keep going, but obviously it didn't do that. PTIX has significant news. It's a drug company that's being bought out by another drug company. I assume a bigger drug company. I'm not sure. For some reason, it's good news for the stock. It turns them into kind of a super drug company, with all kinds of stuff, drugs for stress-related disorders, which I feel like I could probably use today. Cannabinoid-based. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a party. So maybe that's why people were paying attention. But it wasn't easy to trade at all. It had this nice move, which I guess I missed. I missed this whole thing here. The news came out at a weird time. It came out at 7:44. Normally, news comes out at the top or the bottom of the hour. I just missed it. Missed that one. And that's a really clean. It didn't quite break the high, but it made a nice flag pattern. This is what you like to see. The selling volume is a little higher than you would like to see, but still it's pretty clean. So a trade right there at 607 and would have gotten you all the way up to 7. That would have been nice. Missed it. I was green on it up in this area, trading this chop. Missed the good one, though. I think it's because I had taken so many executions already on other stocks. I was already frustrated that when I see something and it's actually the actual setup, I don't get in here. So I was getting in prematurely. This looks like a small loss, and then a small gain to make up for it. But this would have been the trade as a break of this level, which is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. I just didn't trust it at the time. So probably because I was slightly red on it. So I don't trust it when I'm not doing well on it. I don't trust it, and then you miss the good parts. So that was PTIX. I was green on that until later on. I didn't log it, but I was green on it, and my last trades on it. Let me just look at it real quick. Trades. So the last PTIX trades were at 8 in the 815 to 826 area. So it was. All right, so yeah, why did it go here? Yeah, I remember this. I was trading in this area looking for a move like that. Why did it go here and not here? That's really bizarre. It felt random at the time. And you have this 200-day moving average. It's heavy resistance. I feel like it had there was a lot of people enthused about it. There was a lot of traders on it. It wanted to go up, but there were if you look at the daily chart, there's a lot of times where it tried to reach and failed. It tried to reach and failed, tried to reach and failed. So it has all these peaks. These peaks mean rejections. It means it tried and failed, tried to fail, tried and failed. And especially this one was on pretty high volume until today. So it was something that was okay, but it had stuff in the way. It was kind of like a boat trying to move through the weeds. And when you have a lot of stuff like this, you have other traders that are probably in from these peaks that need to get out. So the stock has good news, it pushes it up, but anybody who's sort of long-term red on it is looking to get out because they've been frustrated about this stock for a long time. So you have a lot of big sellers. It was also a little slow feeling today. So if I was a short seller, I might be more aggressive on something that's popping up, which might be why it pushed here, because we had a lot of short squeezing, a lot of shorts that were in that had to cover. Yeah, so I was green and then red. Overall I was green and then red today. I was up maybe $300 at the most, but something about me and my P&L, and psychologically, if I'm under $500, I don't feel like I did my job for the day, so I keep going. Obviously, it would have been better to walk away earlier when I had recovered that initial loss. So I was up, down, up, down, up, down, really up and down a lot today. So I'm getting the heck out of here. This ain't working for me today, and I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to do anything else. Not happy to have a red day, especially to start the week, but tomorrow will be a better day. So we'll wake up and we'll get a good start on things, and hopefully there'll be something easier to trade. But last week there was a moment where it was so hot that anything else that was popping up made a move. So anything, even not great news, even some stocks that didn't have news, it would pop up, it would make a secondary move, it would be tradable. You could make money on almost anything last week. But I think that kind of climate doesn't last. People start to realize that things aren't holding up, that the best you can do is a little scalp. So it's kind of based on nothing. It's momentum based on nothing, which obviously, inevitably the bottom will drop out on. So what I want to see is a stock that has news, that has a decent catalyst, that has a reason for being up, something that actually holds, is tradable for me, and is and gets the heat, it rekindles the heat in the market. But it might be a while before we see something like that, so I'm not going to push it too hard. I am still up a lot on the month. I'm up 10,000 on the month, probably a little bit less. Yeah, 9,600 on the month right now, which is a little more than halfway through the month, and I've made about as much as I made in all of April. If I was in a commission broker, it would be significantly less. It would be 6,800, which is about the same number, I think. 6,800 so far in May, and 8,200 in all of April. So I'm kind of pushing that area. Yeah, I'm okay where I'm at. I actually don't need to make too much more on the month to be happy. I'd like to surpass last month, considering I had 2 really good weeks in a row. But I'm grateful for what I've made so far, and I'm happy to have these longer green streaks and these smaller red days. This is one of the bigger red days today, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be extra careful tomorrow, and I promise this time I really am gonna come in and wait for something good to pop up rather than take the first thing right off the bat. Because I almost got in trouble last week not doing that. I came in after a red day. I was looking for revenge, and I was pretty red on this day, but XBLI or something, a penny stock, bailed me out. I can't depend on that happening again, so I have to be careful now. So, thanks for watching the recap, and I hope I kept this short. I'm not sure. It should be less than 10 minutes. But either way, I'll talk to you later, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.